a lie we don't believe anymore. We share the same biology, regardless of ideology. And what might save us, me and you, is that the Russians love their children too.
From the Indians who welcome the pilgrims, and to the buffaloes who once ruled the plain, like the vultures circling beneath the dark clouds, looking for the rain, looking for the rain. Just like the cities that stagger on the coastline, in a nation that just can't stand much more. Like the forest buried beneath the highway, never had a chance to grow. Never had a chance to grow. And now it's winter. Winter in America. Yes, and all of the hills
this moment to be free. Said I have just been waiting for this moment to fly. That moment of freedom and love between different races, genders, and nationalities. Today, people are divided by many borders, both physical and emotional, some erected by others and some erected by ourselves. Sınırsız reveals a path forward, guiding us into untangling the ropes, divisions that hold us down, and rearranges them into ties that connect, bound, and reveal us as one. Sınırsız is a visual reflection of being separated, divided, and apart to point out the struggle and challenges that we go through to find that moment of freedom and love between different races, genders, and nationalities.
Check one, two, check one.
Sí, 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 sí. Sí, 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 sí.
15. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, and this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me.
Don't you know, they're talking about a revolution. It sounds like a whisper. Don't you know, they're talking about a revolution. It sounds like a whisper. While they're standing in the welfare lines, crying at the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the unemployment lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Don't you know, talking about a revolution. It sounds whisper. Poor people gonna rise up and get their share. Poor people gonna rise up and take what's theirs. Don't you know you better run, 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 run. Oh, I said you better run, 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 run. 'Cause finally the tables are starting to turn, talking about a revolution. Yes, finally the tables are starting to turn, talking about a revolution. Oh no, talking about a revolution. Oh, while they're standing in the welfare lines, crying at the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the unemployment lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Don't you know, talking about a revolution sounds whisper. And finally the tables are starting to turn, talking about a revolution. Yes, finally the tables are starting to turn, talking about a revolution. Oh no, talking about a revolution. Oh no, talking about a revolution. Oh no.
Well, I rode that ribbon highway. I saw above me the endless skyway. I saw below me the golden valley. Well, this land was made for you and me. I roamed and rambled, I followed my footsteps through the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts, and all around me a voice was calling. It said this land was made for you and me. Well, this land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Well, this land the fog was lifting, said this land was made for you and me. Oh, this land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Oh, this land was made for you and me. I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. 'Cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. I go to the movie and I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Oh, there've been times that I thought I couldn't last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will.
In Europe and America, there's a growing feeling of hysteria, conditioned to respond to all the threats and the rhetorical speeches of the Soviet. Mr. Khrushchev said we will bury you. I don't subscribe to this point of view. Be such an ignorant thing to do if the Russians love their children too. when I saved my little boy from Oppenheimer's deadly toy. There is no monopoly of common sense on either side of the political fence. We share the same biology, regardless of ideology. Believe me when I say to you, I hope the Russians love their children too. There is no historical precedent to put the words in the mouth of the president. There's no such thing as a winnable war. It's a lie we don't believe anymore. We share the same biology, regardless of ideology. And what might save us, me and you, is that the Russians love their children too.
From the Indians who welcome the pilgrims, and to the buffaloes who once ruled the plain. Like the vultures circling beneath the dark clouds, looking for the rain, looking for the rain. Just like the cities that stagger on the coastline, and a nation that just can't stand much more. Like the forest
Good evening and welcome. We begin by acknowledging that tonight's program takes place on land that sits on the territory and ancestral land of the Yuhavitam, Tongva, and Luiseño peoples. We recognize that every member of our community has benefited and continues to benefit from the use and occupation of this land. Consistent with our values of community and diversity, we have a responsibility to acknowledge and make visible our relationship to Native peoples. By offering this land acknowledgement, we affirm indigenous sovereignty and will work to be more accountable to the needs of American Indian and indigenous peoples. I hope you had an opportunity to greet your friends and neighbors and introduce yourself to others in our community. I'm Catherine Irvin, Project Director. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for being concerned. Hate crimes and racial, religious, sexual orientation, and gender bias events have increased in California. Recently, a Southern California shop owner was shot and killed because a rainbow pride flag hung outside her clothing store. In August 2023, California Governor Newsom announced increased funding to support victims and help prevent acts of hate, launching the first major statewide multilingual California versus Hate awareness and education campaign, and reminding educators about the importance of inclusion in education. Our goal tonight is to uplift our communities to stand against hate. I am excited that this program will introduce some of the multi-talented artists whose work will touch your spirit and encourage your awareness and participation against hate in our state. I am pleased to introduce your hosts for tonight, Joyce Lee, artist, filmmaker, performer, writer, and theater educator, and Ron Berglis, actor, director, writer, professional mediator, and most importantly, adjunct professor of acting here at San Bernardino Valley College.
Changes. Wake up in the morning and I ask myself, is life worth living? Should I blast myself? I'm tired of being poor and even worse, I'm black. My stomach hurts, so I'm looking for a purse to snatch. Cops give a damn about a Negro. Pull a trigger, kill him, he's a hero. Get it to the kids who the hell cares. One less hungry mouth on the welfare. First ship them, don't let them deal with brothers. Give them guns, step back, watch them kill each other. It's time to fight back, that's what Huey said. 2 shots in the dark, now Huey's dead. I got love for my brothers, but we can never go nowhere unless we share with each other. We gotta start making changes. Learn to see me as a brother instead of 2 distant strangers. And that's how it's supposed to be. How can the devil take a brother if he's close to me? I let it go back to when we played as kids, but then changed. And that's the way it is. Come on, come on.
That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same.
All right, you heard him, Tupac Shakur. He says, I got love for my brother, but we never go nowhere unless we share with each other. We got to start making changes. Learn to see me as a brother instead of two distant strangers.
I'd love to go back to when we played as kids, but things changed, and that's the way it is.
Our topic tonight is California versus hate. According to the Oxford Dictionary, the Oxford English Dictionary, hate is defined as feeling intense or passionate dislike towards a person or thing, to feel strong animosity towards, to loathe, detest.
When hate manifests against a person or group of people, it usually derives from ignorance, anger, fear, a sense of injury, or a perceived threat to the status quo.
Almost all religions denounce hate. Christianity, let go of anger and leave rage behind. Don't get upset, it will only lead to evil.
Torah,
Psalm 37:8.
hate evil and love good, and establish justice in the gate. Let justice well up like water, righteousness like an unfailing stream. Amos 5:15-24.
Hatred is never appeased by hatred in this world. By non-hatred is hatred appeased. This is the law, eternal, the Buddha.
Beware of hatred.
Our subject tonight is hate, and how do we stop it?
Last year, anti-Jewish bias events increased from 152 to 189. Since the horrific events of October 7th, those numbers have increased exponentially.
Last year, anti-Protestant bias events rose from 2 to 12 events.
Last year, anti-Islamic Muslim bias crimes rose from 18 in 2021 to 25. Since October 7th, those numbers have also increased.
Last year, anti-transgender bias events increased from 38 to 59.
Last year, anti-gay male bias events increased from 211 to 271. And anti-lesbian bias crimes rose from 27 to 33. And that's just the way it is.
So, Ron, what begins our teaching of hatred?
Scapegoating, blaming others. Early in life, when we feel overlooked or struggle while someone else appears to get ahead, it leads to hatred.
Well, we may think we're alone in our feelings, but they fester. We separate.
Artists, creatives, storytellers try to illuminate and point the way forward. We proudly present Kabeli Dance, founded in 2003 by artistic director and choreographer Seda Aybay. Kabeli Dance Theater seeks to cultivate an experience that infuses theatrical and contemporary dance with Turkish socio-cultural narratives and imagery.
Aybay uses her unique multicultural approach to craft gestural movement, syncopated rhythms, and lush curves into repertoire that abstracts and amplifies the forgotten moments of everyday life. The mundane becomes powerful, seductive, and profound. At this time, choreographer Seda Aybay will give us some background on tonight's performance.
Today, people are divided by many borders, both physical and emotional. Some erected by others and some erected by ourselves. Synthesis reveals a path forward, guiding us into untangling the ropes, divisions that holds us down and rearranges them into ties that connects, bounds, and reveals us as one. Synthesis is a visual reflection of being separated, divided, and apart, to point out the struggle and challenges that we go through to find that moment of freedom, love, and between different races, genders, and nationalities.
Bin ich hier? Wenn du wolltest. Was machen wir denn? Ist irgendwas? Was machen wir dann? Wo ist die Tür? Was? Tja. Was machen wir dann? catching. Prima.
Give it up for Seta I by Dance. So creative and powerful.
Hate is a virus.
Hate is a poison eating you up inside and causing destruction.
Hatred is a cliff you walk over into nothing.
Fear is the only true enemy, born of ignorance, and it is the parent of anger and hatred.
I feel like we'll live forever in a country that's divided. Divided by race, divided by hate.
Hate is a very old idea. Like the Hydra, with too many heads, it keeps coming back.
Southern trees bear strange fruit, blood on the leaves and blood at the root, black bodies swinging in the southern breeze. Strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees. Pastoral scene of the gallant South, the bulging eyes and the twisted mouth, scent of magnolia, sweet and fresh. Then the sudden smell of burning flesh. Here's a fruit for the crows to pluck, for the rain to gather, for the wind to suck, for the sun to rot, for the tree to drop. Here's a strange and bitter
Strange fruit.
That song originated as a poem written about 1937 by the Jewish American writer, teacher, and songwriter Abel Meeropol, under his pseudonym Lewis Allen, as a protest against lynchings. The Billie Holiday version is said to have been an important declaration for the civil rights movement. It has become part of the National Recording Registry of the Library of Congress.
It's hard to believe that lynchings were a regular part of the social fabric of this country for so many years. Certainly there was protest and outcry, but no laws existed to stop the hate crimes until March 29th, 2022. President Joe Biden signed the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act of 2022 into law, which classified lynching as a federal hate crime.
This next poem reminds us of how the past and the present are connected. Now, many of you will know our next presenter, Romaine Washington, an artist and activist in our community. Please welcome Romaine Washington as she presents Strange Fruit, a Communion.
Thank you. It was in listening to that song and thinking about some of the current events and sitting with them that inspired me to write Strange Fruit, a Communion. And this poem is not just going to be me reading, but you're going to help me with this. There is a word called ashe, which is amen, and it signifies a reverent agreement. And at the end of each scene, I'm going to say ashe, which is just to say amen. Then I'm going to raise my right hand, and you guys are going to say ashe. So we're going to try it a couple of times, and then I'm going to go into the poem. Ashe. Thank you. Ashe. Your body didn't swing from a lynching tree that New Year's night, 2009. Strange fruit veil viral videos at the point of death. We watch and rewatch cement swallowing your unarmed Oakland blood. We are drenched in mourning the death of your dreams of father-daughter dances. Knee-crushing head, bullet in back. We die with you, Oscar Grant. Ashe. Hoodied into hood of night, coming home armed with Arizona tea and rainbow Skittles, slender, tender teen suspiciously walks alone, unarmed, on cell phone, stalked by neighborhood patrol, Zimmerman standing his shaky ground beneath southern trees. In 2012, hooded teen becomes villainized victim, shot with the verdict of unavenged death. We die with you, Trayvon Martin. Ashe. Backpackless in Bronx, high school sophomore on your way home through Little Italy, unarmed, unaware, accusations can be lethal without evidence. 700 of your 1,100 days in solitary confinement. Rikers becomes Guantanamo Bay, a political prisoner of poverty, no bail, no trial. Almost 2 of 3 years in extreme isolation steals reality, crushes hope as sure as knee on neck, bullet in back. Charges dropped, the bulging eyes and twisted mouth hang in PTSD suicide. We die in 2015 with you, Khalif Browder. Ashe. You jogged unarmed to clear your mind. Pandemic death tolls, the world shuts down. Options narrow. You wash cars and landscape to make ends meet. Your thoughts are jogging towards your uncle's career when the McMichaels, father and son, play the most dangerous game. With shotgun and pistol, they hunt. You pray. On Sunday at 1 a.m., 1 p.m., we die in 2020 with you, Ahmaud Arbery. Ashe. How much is a black man's life worth? $20 suspected counterfeit? $27 million apology? Suffocating 9 minutes and 29 seconds. Unarmed, handcuffed. Police kneel on your neck, hold your legs down while cell phones record for the world to witness your lynching. 16 times you cried, I can't breathe, 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 I can't breathe. Helpless, traumatized, bystanders called the police on the police. In 2020, we died with you, George Floyd. Ashe. Hands up. Don't shoot too many to count a strange and bitter unarmed crop of black people. Even in death, we birth hope. In 2012, Trayvon Martin's death birthed Black Lives Matter. In 2020, the world was hunkered down, sheltering in place. Only essential workers filled the streets. George Floyd's lynching filled the streets. Black Lives Matter was a rallying cry. Black Lives Matter birthed the largest protest in U.S. history. And 40 countries, not 40 acres, 40 countries worldwide seeking atonement and justice. But it takes more than marching after the fact. Equal opportunity means nothing if you're dead. We've got to continue to educate and work together. Ashe. Ashe. Thank you.
Give it up for Romaine Washington.
State Attorney General Rob Bonta's latest hate crime report finds a 20% surge in hate. In 1895, newspapers throughout America began reporting on the gruesome Tyler, Texas lynching of Robert Hilliard. The lynch mob numbered an astonishing 10,000 people. One account called it the Tyler tragedy. For the year ending 2022, blacks took the worst hit, suffering over 3 times the impact of other groups, an increase of 27% to 652 cases.
In 1977, Jose Campos Torres, a 23-year-old Mexican-American and veteran, was beaten by several Houston Police Department officers, which subsequently led to his death. In 2022, Latinos felt a big impact. Anti-Hispanic bias crimes rose from 197 in 2021 to 210 in 2022.
Vincent Chen Chin, an American draftsman of Chinese descent, was killed in a racially motivated assault in 1982 by 2 white men in Highland Park, Michigan. We have a history of hate in this country.
Yes, we do.
As hate crimes rise, California is increasing funding to support victims and help prevent acts of hate, launching the first major statewide multilingual California versus Hate awareness and education campaign.
Hate crimes present a very real danger to our communities. And in the first month since Governor Newsom launched the California versus Hate hotline, there were 180 reports of hate acts across California.
Dr. Ibram X. Kendi said, "I did not fully realize that the only thing wrong with black people is that we think something is wrong with black people. I did not fully realize that the only thing extraordinary about white people is that they think there is something extraordinary about white people." California versus Hate legislation supports communities in responding to hate crimes by building awareness of how our differences enrich our communities and providing resources to help targeted communities to respond to hate crimes.
Our next presentation is by Maura Townsend Dance Project. It's formerly known as Project 21. Founded in 1998, this dance company is based in Los Angeles and the Inland Empire. As a performing arts consortium, one focus of Project 21 is to incorporate several genres, such as spoken word, multimedia, and live musical artists, and to experience various forms of movement and practices, such as martial arts and capoeira.
Choreographer and artistic director Maura Townsend will now join us to provide background for this selection.
Good evening, everyone. This next piece was inspired by the theme of tonight and the poem Bitter Brew by Langston Hughes. Black men are constantly being stigmatized, often feared, brutalized, and even killed because of the color of their skin. I'd like to thank Kathy Irvin for reciting Bitter Brew.
Bitter brew, whittle me down to a strong, thin reed with a piercing tip to match my need. Spin me out to a tensile wire to derrick the stones of my problems higher. Then simmer me slow in the freedom cup till only an essence is left to sup. May that essence be the black poison of me to give the white bellies the third degree, concocted by history, brewed by fate, a bitter concentrate of hate.
War's over, but a soldier on, still battling the ghost long gone. Oh, oh, still struggling to see the signs, too heavy for a heart like mine. Save me, save me. My heritage to keep me clean, keep the devil watching over me. Save me, save me. Less than before I walk away, spellbound, I'll stutter, I'll pray, release me, save me. Still burning from the
Townsend Dance Company. Give it up. Dance Project. Wonderful. The California versus Hate campaign launched in 2023 in response to a rise in hate crimes and at the start of Asian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. It's a new multilingual statewide hotline and website that provides safe, anonymous reporting option. It provides safe, anonymous reporting options for victims and witnesses of hate acts. Hate crimes in California, it reached their highest level since 2001, jumping almost 33% from 2020 to 2021. Did you know that, Ron?
No.
Wow.
But yes.
You knew it.
The campaign offers counseling and support to victims of hate crimes.
If hate becomes the norm, it will change our community. Now, you may find it difficult to live in your own skin because of the threat of violence.
Under California law, a hate crime is a criminal act committed in whole or in part because of one or more of the following actual or perceived characteristics of the victim: disability, gender, nationality, race or ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, or because of the person's association with a person or group with one or more of these actual or perceived characteristics.
Okay, let me repeat that. Because of person's association with a person or group with one or more of these actual or perceived characteristics. Now, that means allowing hate is a threat to people with characteristics and to people associated with those characteristics. Now, sadly, that's what happened to the shopkeeper, Laura Ann Carlton, who hung a pride flag. She hung a pride flag outside her business.
Yeah, in the current climate, gay, lesbian, and transgender people are an easy target. This community was highly stigmatized during the AIDS epidemic. Sweeping the country from the 1980s and into the 1990s, this disease was widely believed to be a gay disease, and this led to an enormous increase in homophobia.
The characteristics surrounding the recent pandemic provide an opportunity to reopen many old wounds. The climate of fear around the possible transmission of the coronavirus is very real.
Our next presenter is Bernard Brown of the company BB Moves. Founded in 2014, the company began as a call to action. Inspired by arts and social movements of the past and present, BB Moves aims to serve as a conduit for the oppressed to express their voices.
His work is rooted in catalyzing change through dance. Dance sparks dialogue, which in turn inspires action, the action being the change within our communities. He is interested in excavating the ways in which art can transform, create ripples of empathy, and foster healing. Please welcome Bernard Brown.
Good evening. Good evening. Oh, we're here together. I can't see you, but I can feel your presence. My name is Bernard Brown, Artistic Director of Bernard Brown BB Moves. I said my name a lot, so you don't forget it. Tonight you'll see a piece which is an excerpt of a larger work. The larger work is entitled Processing Sugar Notes. Processing Sugar Notes began as a love letter to my grandmother. She died of diabetes in 2019 here in the United States, which seems crazy. And so this work took root in my heart and in my spirit around the ways that colonialism, whiteness, and white supremacy have entrenched themselves into the communities of color, even though slavery has ended. We have many ways to see that these ideologies and these practices have shaped and formed and affected these communities, of which I'm a member. And so this section that you'll see is called The Sweetness of Sweat. Tomorrow is World AIDS Day. This piece is in honor of the men who loved. This piece is a work of resistance through intimacy. And I seek to parallel HIV/AIDS and that epidemic with that of COVID-19. and how the US government neglected these communities that were affected by these pandemics.
Mainstream media had never depicted gay people accurately in the first place, and certainly did not depict people with AIDS with any reality. For the most part, they just ignored it. And what's interesting when you compare AIDS with COVID, you know, COVID is a collective public experience that we're all having on television. People are talking about it in their families. AIDS, on the other hand, was like our private nightmare. Our battle was to get it into the public, and that was the biggest fight. But when people with AIDS were depicted, either they were depicted as helpless, emaciated, dying, weak people with no community and no organization, or when the media did start finally covering it, they divided people into, quote, innocent victims and, quote, guilty victims. They actually use those terms.
Brian White was a so-called innocent victim of AIDS. He wasn't gay or an intravenous drug user. He got the disease from a bad blood transfusion.
A guilty victim was a person who had sex or used a needle, and an innocent victim was like a blood transfusion.
Wow. And so you also write that even when national news media, local news media began to cover HIV/AIDS and began to cover the queer communities experiencing this, it was often written through the lens of whiteness, through the lens of maleness, and through the lens of like straight family who was going to be sad because their gay whatever died.
reason I'm out here by myself is because our next presenter is my partner, Joyce Lee.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you. Bernard Brown dancers. Give them another hand. Hate crimes affect not only the victim, but their families, their friends, the entire community. Every victim has someone who loves them. And I thought about this when I was writing my short film, Essence of Love.
Gotta move back.
That if we Americans can realize the difference between revenge, we will not only survive, we will come through this stronger than ever. We must remember that we are obliged to search for justice. In all religions, we are advised to search for justice, be just ourselves. So in that case, we can be diligent in searching for the people who have brought us such pain. I think we make a terrible mistake if we fall into revenge. I think we lose ourselves and come down low as our adversaries, and maybe even lower.
If I die today, Friday, September 14th, 2001, I'll miss Granny's fish fry and her pineapple upside down cake. Daddy, I'll go insane. And poor Granny. Oh God, please don't let me die. The news will report what happened, but they weren't even there. I was there, and I don't even know.
We've just spoken with some rescue workers who have come back from the former site of the World Trade Towers, and they're increasingly concerned that the rain and wind, which has slowed their work, is coming at a time when the window of opportunity to rescue anyone who might be buried in that rubble.
Granny will piece it together. Granny pieces everything together.
Across the city, police now stand watch over the Islamic Institute. Just 1 hour after the World Trade Center attack, the Institute, also a school, received a terrifying phone call.
Amina, would you answer that, please? Amina? Islamic school.
You are one disgusting human being.
You are harassing me, sir.
I'm gonna blow up your school.
And your reaction is to blow up our school?
That's right. You animals don't deserve to live on this planet.
Hello?
Miss Salahuddin?
Sadiqa, why haven't you gone home?
I stayed after to finish the memorial wall. I ran out of tape.
Oh, no. That'll have to wait. Sadiqa, without your parents' permission, I'm not allowed to let you stay after school. You know that, don't you?
It won't take long. See?
Sister Amina will hang them for you in the morning.
She left.
Sister Amina left? As well she should. It's late. Listen, you need to go home, and so do I. These are from your class? Oh.
We heard a big bang, and then we saw smoke coming out, and everybody started running out, and
Miss
we saw the
Salahuddin?
plane on the other
Miss
side of the
Salahuddin?
building, and there was smoke everywhere.
Miss Salahuddin, are you gonna get that?
I guess because they're trying to seal themselves. I don't know.
No. School is closed. We're headed out of here.
This one's mine. I've invented a machine to save people from falling out of buildings. You see the fire hose? Instead of water, it blows out air. See? It blows people back up towards the sky so they won't hit the ground. And when the air pressure's turned off, this net catches them.
You cease to amaze me, Sadiqa. Too bad nobody thought of that before, huh? Now up. Let's go. It's getting dark out. Is somebody meeting you?
Yes, Miss Salahuddin. I'm meeting my granny out front.
Wait.
This is the New York City Police Department. We are experiencing a high volume of calls. Your call will be answered in the order that
Like a diamond in the sky, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Come to Mother, Sadiqa. You're almost here, sweetie. My sweet. Come, baby, come.
Mommy?
It's gonna be all right. Pull yourself together. But she's coming to me, Mother. She needs me.
Oh, honey, come on. If it is her time, she will come. Not before.
But she's almost here, Mother.
She's in between now, Oda. Not in the spirit with us, not with the living either, but in between. When it is her time, she'll join us.
But you don't understand, Mother.
I understand too well. You think your love is strong enough to bring her over. Not even a mother's love can do that. I know. Oda, listen to me. You can't determine what will happen. She's in Allah's hands now.
Mommy? Mommy!
Sadiqa? What are you doing here?
I had to finish the memorial wall.
No, we had early dismissal. You understand it may be dangerous to be here, don't you?
But you're here.
Young lady, I need you to go home right now. Now.
Miss Saldine.
Salahuddin. Afternoon, officer. I have been trying to reach you all day.
Miss Solid. I gotta let.
Salahuddin.
Salahuddin. We got him. I gotta get the bug, but we got him.
I thought you said the calls were coming from a union station. But there must be a lot of workers using the phones there. How did you catch him?
Somebody overheard him. The senior military was working with the Benevolent Association. You know, he didn't want to harm anybody. He was just blowing out some steam, you know.
So he's gonna get a slap on the wrist?
We took him in for 2 hours.
2 hours?
Miss, this guy was an old man, okay? He couldn't even walk without a cane. He was upset about the attacks.
Yeah, we're all upset over the attacks. Now, I'll see what the press has to say about this.
Miss, if this wasn't a school and there was no kids, you would not have got the attention that you got.
Thank you, Detective.
Yeah, have a nice day.
5 airports remain completely closed, and the 3 in the New York area, as you know, JFK, LaGuardia, and Newark. The FAA is saying now that they will be closed until at least 9 a.m. this morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, but that could easily be extended, and I wouldn't be surprised if it does get extended. Also Boston's Logan Airport.
Sadiqa.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot my sweater. Why is that boy got a machine gun? Is he a soldier?
Guerrilla warfare. Oh, child, you need to go home, and I need to get to a UN meeting.
The UN? The UN is closed.
Child, you know too much too soon.
Aw, they're so cute. Wow, they look just alike.
No, they are alike. Mother and daughter. Well, I bet you look like your mother, too.
My granny says I have her essence, whatever that is.
Oh, well, that's her aura. She's beautiful. You look just like her.
Thank you. When I grow up, I'm going to be a doctor.
Good.
I'm going to find a cure for cancer of the ovaries.
Excellent. You make a fine doctor.
I don't want to die from ovarian cancer.
Well, honey, I don't think you need to worry about that.
Daddy,
Go
I
on
was
with
just...
me in the taxi.
Mr. Hassan, she's a good girl.
I don't want her hanging around the school.
I understand. Mr. Hassan, they caught the guy.
Do you mean to call her what guy?
Sir.
Is it the man that was threatening the school?
Sir, the detective was right here. He just left here. I am so sorry that Sadiqa has been hanging around.
No. It's not your fault. She wants to be involved in everything.
Yes.
She's stubborn.
Well, she's got a very big heart. I mean, she did the memorial wall out there. She's very smart. She told me she wants to be a doctor.
To cure ovarian cancer. Her mother died from it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. That explains.
He wants to fix everything that's broken.
Broken hearts, huh?
Save the children.
Oh, yeah. There's much to save them from. I'm with the Teachers Task Force with UNESCO. We're trying to change the way they represent the children, as you can see. Oh, in fact, I've got to get to a UN meeting right now.
Can I offer you a lift?
Are you kidding? Of course. With the way the subways have been running, I would be most grateful.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joyce Lee.
Thank you, thank you. Hate crimes. Where are we, Ron?
Hate crimes affect not only the victim.
I said that before the film.
Then it's me. The California versus Hate campaign asks us to stand against hate. Reporting hate crimes sends a message of zero tolerance. It eliminates the power that rests in anonymity.
By providing resources, the campaign recognizes the critical education plays in stopping hate in our communities. It's essential that our children grow up seeing themselves reflected in the curriculum.
The goal is to make our communities safe for everyone. Mike, can we bring up the house lights, please? Raise your hand if you've ever felt unsafe in your community. Please. That's good. Good lot of hands.
Okay. I saw quite a few hands go up. Or if you've ever found yourself in a place or an area where you would rather not go because of who you are, because of the way you look, would you take a moment and share with your neighbor, someone sitting near you, if you have an incident that may have happened or an experience that you can share? I hear whispering. That's good. That's good. An area or a place where you felt like, this feels uncomfortable to me because of
would any of you like to share any of those experiences? Sir.
I had an instance when I used to play tennis with San Bernardino High School, go Cardinals. I played tennis over in Ukaipa, at Ukaipa High School, and it was 3 African-American males that played on the tennis team. And after our match, we were leaving Ukaipa, and a few of the students called us nigger.
Our next selection is by Maura Townsend Dance Project. It explores the questions of community and belonging.
They Matter. They Matter was inspired by the We Matter campaign, as we continue to recognize that all people have the right to happiness. People are afraid of who and what they don't understand of other cultures. Therefore, we seek to find ways to break community barriers and to create an open dialogue between different communities. I'd like to thank Stacy Jordan for her artwork.
Let's hear it again for Warren Townsend Dance.
Hate is everywhere and often explodes in unexpected ways. In the home,
at work, and well, everywhere. But hoping it will go away is not the answer.
California versus Hate offers tools to uncover and stop the hate.
We hope that this evening, the art that you've witnessed, we hope it gives you some encouragement.
We hope you will join us. Stand up, please, and stand against hate.
That's just the way it is.